Hello, Collective. Elsie here to do a collective reading for you. It's all of you. That means it's all of you, and that's why there's no timestamp. So if you're logging in here today, I could be talking about you. It is a general reading. Keep that in mind. And we're just going to see what comes out for you. For the collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter collective, I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about the situation. And we're going to talk about the outcome of the situation. Let's find out what's going on, please. For the collective, I'll call out the signs and symbols as you need to hear them or see them in order to know what's going on. As long as you bring your discernment and put on your intuitive hat, you'll know if this is for you or not. Tell me about the collective, please. Tell me about the collective. What do we need to know about the collective, please? So we need to know is that there is going to be some movement here. It feels like there is movement, but I feel like it's those of you who are in balance. And what I mean by that is that your feminine and masculine energies are in balance. It feels like you that will have the victory. As the charioteer, you need to know how to keep the chariot on the road, right? And which means keeping the energies balanced, right? Keeping the two horses in balance here. So I could be speaking to a Cancer. Tell me more about this, please. Got double Cancer here. Of course, we're in a general reading, so it could be Scorpio and Pisces as well. So I feel like somebody's worried about a trip. You're worried about a trip or something, someplace that you have to go, collective. It feels like with these three cards that I've pulled here, it feels like somebody doesn't want to go. I don't want to go there. It worries me. It feels like somebody is, it's worried about the future. It's like somebody is overthinking the situation. So the Two of Swords here tells me that someone feels that they must protect themselves. You know, we just had a full moon, right? So the full moon was just yesterday. As I read this, I'm reading this on a Sunday. So the full moon was just yesterday. It feels as though somebody's been holding back listening to their intuitive energy. Somebody here is quite psychic and quite intuitive, and they want to do the right thing because the Queen of Cups is always very compassionate and kind, but it feels like you're holding yourself back. It feels like there is someplace you need to go. It's either a trip or there's movement here. You need to get in your car. You need to go somewhere, and you're not going. You're not listening to your intuition at this time. You could be a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer. We do have a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here as well. It feels like the reason that you're not moving is because you're worried about something here. Tell me what this is. What is the worry here? It's like you're worried about showing too much of your feelings or what people might think if you show how you feel about something here. We've got the Justice card, we've got the Three of Wands, and the Emperor. Maybe I should wait until they come to me. Instead of going to them, maybe I should wait until they come to me. It does feel like something is out of balance here. Someone does not trust the situation. I feel like it's the Queen of Cups. It feels like the Queen of Cups does not trust the situation. We've got Justice here. And I want to say that somebody is far more comfortable with people approaching them than them approaching somebody else. But I feel like someone's got to get it together here. It feels like that, you know, you can't always wait for people to come to you, right? It feels like somebody here needs to take initiative to do something and go out and take action on something that they've been waiting for. It feels like I've been waiting, Elsie, for this thing to arrive. I've been manifesting it. I've been doing all the things that I'm supposed to do. And this thing is not arriving. So it feels like the only way that you're going to get some justice is if you decide to step off the edge of the water here and take control of the situation. It feels like if you run at it and do it, like you just conquer it, get to it, figure it out, I feel like it's going to stop this anxious feeling that you have. It feels like you're feeling very anxious about taking control of something here. Tell me what the situation is, please. Tell me what the situation is. It might be a communication. It might be starting something new or starting on a new path. it might be reaching out to someone. It feels like someone has been waiting for the other person to reach out to them. And it feels like the universe is saying, look, you can manifest it till the cows come home, but if you don't take control of the situation, I don't feel like there's going to be any action taking here. It feels like somebody needs to take at least a little bit of action in order for the situation to work itself out. Tell me more about the situation, please. Yeah, it feels like somebody needs to take it upon themselves to step forward here. If you want any growth, if you want to get what you want, you can't just kind of sit there and be complaining that it's not arriving to you if you're not willing to take action. We've got 2 wands here, and so the situation requires action. It requires someone to prepare to take even just a little bit of action. I feel like once you take one step forward here, that it's going to motivate you to keep going or take another step forward here. I've got the High Priestess. Why is that? The 3 of Pentacles. It does feel like the situation may be arising in a group, a community, maybe a team that you're on. Maybe it's at the workplace, but it feels like somebody here has been tirelessly working on something very intricate, building something. It's been you that has been the one who has been putting in all the energy, trying to build this thing. It almost feels like somebody here is waiting for someone else to put in even a little bit of energy, or I'm just going to stop working on it. It feels like with the 3 of Pentacles here, that there has, and the Queen of Wands with the High Priestess, it feels like we're supposed to be on a team. We're supposed to be supporting each other. We're supposed to be having each other's back here, but I seem to be the only one who's putting in the energy. You're not putting in anything, and I don't hear from you. You're not communicating with me. It's very silent. It feels like you could be the Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We do have Libra energy here as well as Cancer, Aries, and Libra. It does feel like with the situation here, the situation is that there is somebody who's being very silent, somebody who's just staying within themselves, being very silent, and not taking any action. And it feels like the other person has been working tirelessly, and it's taking really long to build this, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, or maybe it's in the workplace. It feels like it's taking really long. Maybe you're on a project of some sort. It's taking really long for this thing to build because somebody here is not putting in their effort. Somebody here is not putting in effort. Tell me more about the situation. Got the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. Isn't that really interesting here? We've got the 3 wands here, we've got the 3 wands here. It feels like we're at like a deadlock or a gridlock here. It's like everybody wants victory. Everybody wants the attention. You know what it feels like here? It feels like there is a project that more than one person is working on, possibly 3, but it also feels like that somebody has been the person who has started the project, built the project, put all the details into the project, and the other person stopped working on it or backed off, started being silent. Somebody here took the initiative to work really hard, get all the details down. I've got the business plan, or I've got the situation figured out. This is the plan we're supposed to use. And the other person is not really doing anything. It's like we all started out on the same page, and now we're not on the same page. Something's got to change here. Somebody's got to take some action here, or nothing is ever going to fly here. It feels like there's somebody here who's maybe preparing to speak to another person because they're the person who has all the stability, all the security. It's like I can do everything that I can do, but I don't have the funding. It feels like somebody here is waiting for someone else to step up and do their part, or this whole project is going to fall flat. It feels like I need at least a little bit of your energy. I need you to step forward and say that you're going to do something. I need for something to change. In order for the Wheel of Fortune to move forward, we have to have a little bit of effort, right? The divine timing is going to show up anyway, regardless. It is going to show up anyway. But the thing is that if we're not ready for divine timing, right? Divine timing is just that. It's divine timing. And it shows up when all things are ready. and then the change comes, right? The divine timing shows up. But it feels like it's been taking a really long time because someone here is off doing the things that they want rather than the things that need to be done in order to further the project that we're supposed to be working on all together. It's sort of weird. It seems like either a family situation. It could very well be that we're coming up to the holidays and somebody is like, well, if you don't talk to mom and dad, then I'm not talking to mom and dad. I'm not the one that's going to bring it up. And it feels like there's something that's tense here. It's like the elephant in the room. It feels like somebody is supposed to say something about it to somebody, but nobody wants to approach the high priestess and say, look, it's time for you to get off your ass and put some action in this. And if you don't put the action in, it's not going to work. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5 wands here in this situation. And it's like somebody's holding back, or maybe they're scared to move forward because they feel like no matter how much effort I put in, there's going to be too much competition and nothing's going to change. Tell me what the outcome is here. It's the 2 of Cups. It's like this effort requires the same amount of energy from both sides, or it's not going to work. We have the Empress, we have the 9 of Wands, and we have the World card. Very interesting. So for those of you who are looking at this as a situation that might have something to do with a love situation, we do have the Emperor and the Empress here. And it feels like the Empress is the one that's saying, look, if you don't put in your effort, if you don't take charge of the situation, nothing is going to change here. It feels like the Empress might be the one that's feeling like the wounded warrior. I feel like the Empress is the one that was always the one who was putting in the effort, keeping everything balanced. Maybe I'll put in the funds. Okay, well, if you don't have the money right now, then I'll put in the money. It feels like the 9 of Wands and the World card is like the Empress is like in one last ditch effort. The 2 of Cups means both people have to be in agreement that this is what we want, right? Otherwise, it's 1 cup. It's not 2. So the Empress is like, I'm willing to put in the 1 cup, but I'm not putting in your side anymore. So if you want this to work out the way that it's supposed to work out, you're going to have to get up and put in a little more effort than you've been putting in. The Empress does not chase. The Empress is going to create, is very abundant. The person who doesn't really need anybody, I'm going to figure it out myself. Don't bother me. I'll carry up that sofa all by myself. Like the Empress is the one who really doesn't need any help. But the Empress is also the one who's calling in the one that's on her vibration. And the Emperor is here. This could definitely be a work situation. It could be a work situation where there is a team of people, or possibly a small team, like 3 or 4 or 5 people that are supposed to be working together. One came up with the business plan. The other one is supposed to go out and find funds, right? Supposed to raise the funding for it. Or otherwise this whole thing is going to fall flat. I feel like the Empress is ready to give up. The Empress is ready to close the door and say, you know what? I'm exhausted. I can't do anything more than I have done until you put your effort in, because 2 cups requires 2 people. There's no way that I'm going to be able to supply enough for both cups. I feel like with this World card here that the Empress is ready to close the chapter and sort of just put her hands in the air and say, you know what, I'm just going to go on to the next thing. I'm just going to end this, leave it here, and I'm just going to go on to the next thing because I can't provide for both cups. We have the King of Wands, we have the Tower, and we have the 10 of Cups. So it does feel like that this situation might be something that is a family situation. Maybe 2 people who are apart right now who wish to come back together, but only one of the parties is putting in the effort. With the King of Wands over here with the Empress, it tells me that the Empress is the one who has the motivation, to go out and get what she wants. And the Tower is the realization that, you know what, maybe I just don't need these 10 cups. Maybe I just need to give it up to the universe, close the door and say, let it be done, because I'm exhausted. I've already put in more effort than is necessary on my end. And if the other person does not put in their effort, then it's just not going to get done. I can't put in any more effort than I already am. I think the Empress is realizing that she's got to drop the wands here. So we've got 9 wands and 1 in the hand of the king, that I've just got to drop these burdens here and just leave everything, close the door and give up the 10 cups, because I'm not going to carry both sides by myself. I can't be, carrying the Emperor and the Empress's end here. Tell me more about this situation here. Got the Four of Swords, got the Ace of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So it does feel like the Emperor is supposed to be the one who brings the dependability, the one who brings the money, possibly the funding, possibly brings the wealth, I would say. And the Empress is waiting for the Emperor to get up, grab this wand, and get on their way, to make a little bit of effort here. It feels as though this Emperor is kind of in a comfort zone. In a comfort zone of, well, I've always waited for things to come to me. Like, I feel like the Emperor is like, I'm all that. I've always waited for things to come to me. You know, people have always approached me. Why do I have to go out chasing for what I want? And the Empress is like, well, you know what? I'm the Empress. I manifest what I want and whatever. And that way I know that if I'm not out chasing things, chasing what I want, then I know that whatever finds me is actually mine. And so it does feel like this Emperor is becoming a little bit worried about whether or not he's ever going to be able to, I say he because this is a masculine leaning energy, this is a feminine leaning energy. It feels like this person here has been waiting for the Empress to approach and sitting in their comfort zone. Oh yeah, this person loves me. They're going to come to me. I'm the one with all the money. I'm the one with all the stability. I'm the one that's the overgiver. They know that I'm going to, throw money at the situation, or I'm going to be the one who funds the business. I'm going to be the one who offers the job. But if the Emperor doesn't take any action towards a situation, nothing ever changes. Tell me more about the situation. That we've got the King and the Queen of Pentacles, and they're facing each other here. Very interesting. The Strength is in the reverse, and the Eight of Cups is here in the situation. It does feel like we have a standoff. We have two people who are equally yoked, and that means that they have equal power, right? The Emperor and the Empress are two people who are matched, who mirror each other, who, they can both run their own empires. But we also do have two people that are both financially stable. And it feels like the Emperor here is in their comfort zone. This could be feminine or masculine. Please know that the Emperor is masculine leaning, but it also has feminine energy. It almost feels like, the Emperor is waiting for motivation. They're in some sort of a comfort zone. It's like they need to release something before they can move forward. And make no mistake about it, I do believe that the Emperor feels worried that if I don't make a move, that the situation isn't going to work out and the outcome isn't going to be what I want it to be. It does feel like the King of Pentacles is somebody who's ready to abandon the situation because they feel like the other person is not putting in their effort. We have two people who are at a standoff. Yeah. I've got a guide, his name is Charlie, and I just saw two people standing outside the saloon in old Western movie, right? They're standing there and nobody's reaching for the gun. Everybody's watching who's going to make the first move, and nobody's making the first move. It seems that the Emperor might be caught in a little bit of pride. It feels like in order for this situation to move forward, somebody has to say something. Someone has got to break the silence. So we've got the High Priestess here who is silent, and then we have the Page of Wands, which is the communication. We have to talk about the project, about the work, about the new job, about the situation that we're building or supposed to be building, or we need to prepare to build it, or nothing's going to change. But it feels like we have two people here, like I said, who are equally yoked, and each one of them is financially stable without the other one. We thought we would bring together everything in order to have this really great outcome, which I believe is the Two of Cups. But the Empress is like, no, bruh, no. You want it, you come get it. And I think the realization is like, I'm really motivated to have the Ten of Cups, but not motivated enough to be running around town looking for the Emperor. Tell me what the outcome is. With the Seven of Cups, King of Cups is in the reverse, and the Two of Pentacles. I've got too much on my plate. I can't be worrying about someone who is not emotionally available. It does feel like someone is very confused, because I feel as though the Emperor is somebody who seemed all in at the time. all into the project, all into making money, all into the business, all into making change, to moving forward. It seems like the Emperor, it felt to me like the Emperor was all in. And then all of a sudden, this project is on the rocks. It feels like with the Eight of Cups here, somebody's ready to leave it there and release it with the full moon. Somebody is just, after this full moon here, is ready to walk away from it. What are we talking about here, please? Seven of Swords. Judgment card. And the Page of Cups. It feels like if it is something to do with it does feel like it's more about business, the Pentacle world. It's a project. It's something that needs to get off the ground. These two people are going to be funding it, but they're both holding the purse strings. We do have two people who are motivated, but nobody's taking action. This one is, the Empress is saying, look, it's the Emperor that comes forward. The Emperor is saying, look, if you want to do it yourself. It feels like with this energy here that this might be a new connection or a new job, or it feels like it might be a new job or a new prospect or a new project. It feels like with the Judgment card here that somebody doesn't trust that the situation is going to actually take off or get off the ground. It almost feels like somebody's like, that's okay, if it's for me, it'll come back round again. The other person doesn't feel like it ever will. I don't trust that it's ever going to come back around. Tell me what this Judgment is, please. Five of Cups. I'm just going to leave it where it is, and I'll just put it in my back pocket and consider it regretful. So I feel like whatever the situation is, whatever it is for you, take it as it resonates for you. The divine timing is here, but only if two people get off their butts and decide to take action. Because there's a King over here, there's a Queen of Wands over here, we've got the financing, we've got the project off the ground. It feels like somebody needs to contact the other person. If this is not business at all, if this is not business or money, it feels like it is a situation of two people who are, they're both in the Empress energy here, and the Emperor is somebody who feels like the Empress should be doing more, and the Empress is like, look, I'm the Empress. I whatever comes for me is mine. And if the Emperor doesn't show up, then I'm just going to close the door and be done with it. It feels like it'll show up again if it's supposed to be yours, but I feel like the Empress is going to let go of the situation and just say, look, I'm going to consider it regretful that it didn't happen. If it decides to surprise me, then I'll deal with it then. But it feels like something here is about to fall flat if somebody doesn't stand up and do something about it. This project, this relationship, this new job, this new business, whatever it is, will not take off if somebody doesn't get up and do something about it. Got the Ace of Swords. There needs to be conversation, or this thing is not going to work out at all. I'm going to leave it right there. I wonder if that resonates with anybody. I'm going to go for now. You guys take care, and I'll be back. We'll see you tomorrow for the sneak peek for the week. Love you guys. Bye.